Hey, what's up, everybody? Ted here at well, it's Saturday at 6:55 a.m. Yes, I'm up at 6:55 a.m. doing a video, primarily because I go to work at 6 through 3 Monday through Friday. So if I'm not awake by like 5 or 6 on any day, my sleeping pattern gets off whack. I was just on vacation, my sleeping pattern got way off whack. So anyways, we are here to do another technical analysis video about Bitcoin. We're gonna do Bitcoin because I mean Bitcoin it's Bitcoin. It's the largest coin of them all. We gotta keep talking about Bitcoin. We don't know what it's doing. I mean, we kind of do know what it's doing. But at least once a week I gotta throw a Bitcoin video out there. I'll throw altcoins out there sometimes, but at least once a week I gotta do Bitcoin and Ethereum both. We have to do it. It's just what has to be done. So but we're coming at this from a smart money perspective. Now, what does smart money mean? That might mean absolutely jack squat to some of you. You might not even heard of smart money. Some of you don't believe in smart money and you think that is mumbo jumbo, and you got retail theory that you think works. Okay, cool. You know, if it works for you, it works for you. I like smart money because it basically puts yourself in the shoes of the person with all the money while you're trading. Even if you don't have all the money, just think like you do. Just think like, hey, I have $1 million and I can trade like I have $10 million or whatever it is. I don't have to back down. I can trade like a bank, basically. And so it teaches you to trade like that and to look at price as an algorithm. Price is an algorithm, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's an algorithm. It's not buying pressure versus selling pressure. Whenever you see red candles, it's not a bunch of people selling, and when you see green candles, it's not a bunch of people buying. It's price trying to do two things. It's price trying to find balance, and it's price looking for liquidity. That's what price is always trying to do. Trying to find those two things, trying to find balance, liquidity, right? And it's also during the algorithm, right? It's also got kill zone times too. I don't want to get too far into it, but those are the basics, right? And we'll move on from there. Next basic is the fair value gap stuff, right? So there's 3 consecutive candles in a row, and there's a gap in between those 3. Here, let's go over here and let's go over to trading view. That way you know what I'm talking about. That way you're not just sitting over here going, what is he talking about? I have no idea. Oh my god, somebody help me. That was kind of cool. Well, that's not helping. Hold on 1 second here, guys. There we go. Okay, so anyways, I was trying to get some music going for you guys, and that's what I was doing. And it's probably not too loud. Turn up a little bit more, see if we can hear it. All right, I'm done. Now, there we go, and we're back on the charts. All right, so this is Bitcoin. Even though it doesn't look like Bitcoin, this is what normally Bitcoin usually looks like. But with me having put so much stuff on it, doing indicators, lines, whatever I could do as a smart money theorist to try to figure out where it was going next, I added so much stuff to try to figure out where this thing is going. And I have a pretty good idea. I have a pretty good idea. Now, what we're talking about the fair value gaps is let's go ahead and go back. I think they were all on the weekly, even though they say monthly. But yeah, they may be monthly. There's weekly ones too. All right, here, let's go back. Let's go all the way back to the monthly. All right. So each one of these candles represents 1 month of trading, right? Now, as you can see, from when was it picking up? It was September, October last year. Yeah, that's when it really started picking up. I remember over Thanksgiving, I was like, whoa. I was like, what happened to Bitcoin? It started moving along, as you can see, all the way up, and in between each of these candles. So let's go, let's pick this one here, this big one. In between this candle here, its top, even if it has a wick, let's see if it has a wick. Nope. To this candle's tail, which it does have a tail, that in between whole area, oops, sorry guys, is what is called a fair value gap. Now, what does a fair value gap do, or what does it mean? Well, since this is a whole month, not a whole lot, because there's a lot of trading going on in this area. But what it's letting you know is that it's not balanced. That is the whole thing about fair value gaps, because if this had a huge spike up than the month before, this was here, and then the month after came down a huge spike, and both of those touched on either side, ooh, that would have been balanced. It would have been balanced, and it would have been so pretty. And as soon as they touch, you could have basically just put on another trade and kept on moving, because it was already balanced. You don't have to worry about it pulling back too much farther, right? So that's what it is. With fair value gaps, that's what you do have to worry about. You do have to worry about, let's see here, how many of these are in Bitcoin? It's crazy. This is why I'm holding out. So you got 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3. 1, 2, 3 pretty much, and well, maybe just these last two here. Okay. Oops. Those two candles have monthly fair value gaps still in them, right? It has gotten all the way to the top, come back all the way, and in that time there have been many fair value gaps, whether they be 5-minute to weekly, have been filled pretty much, right? So that's why I look at these on the monthly, right? And what it's telling me is that it's not balanced. This came up here out of nowhere, right? And now it's trying to balance. It went way too high, way too quick, right? We became way oversold. I'm gonna get myself off of here, so I'm not, you know, in your way of the price or anything like that. As soon as I can find myself on here, there we go. Well, no, that's not it. There we go. All right. All right, so and I don't know if you can see why is it here either. Hello? Okay, yeah, you can hear. Come on, print that down. Print that down. There we go. Okay. Now we go. So what had happened the last time that the price had dropped, right? And let's get closer in here now that we've been through a month, right? Let's get into the weekly. I know everybody's wondering why I'm not on the hourly or 4-hourly, because like I zoom out from in, so that way in case I can see everything on my way in. Right, so you can still see the monthly fair value gaps from here. This one, you can see here on the weekly, this past week went all the way down, broke through it, It's still pulling back up. Okay, now what's over here on the weekly? So now that we know that it broke through the fair value gap on the weekly, we kind of have to look at it at the weekly to see if there's anything else that we can try to find that could impact the price. Okay, no fair value gap here. This spike took care of it. Okay, there's a little bit of one here, not too big a one. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, yeah, nothing really going on until here. We see daily fair value gap, and right now is weekly right now. Weekly, which I think maybe this one, since that's the one that's out of weird odd colors. Yeah, okay. Must be on frozen or something. I don't know. Hold on. Okay, no, I'm not frozen. Not frozen at all, which is good. Okay, so there's the weekly. So we have above the current price, right? We have a lot going on. I don't even know what this one is. I think this is a FEG daily. Okay, so this is a daily fairly good guy. Yep. Actually. No, yeah, that's right. It is daily. There we go. Daily fair value gap. All the way across. And then you have this one is the weekly, and this is the daily. So you got weekly, and then down below you have monthly. I think there's a couple other monthlies down here, if I'm not mistaken. So Bitcoin has left tons of gaps that it doesn't need to fill, but it should, and it's probably going to. The question is when and how is it going to fill them? So as it came back, as it made, some of these up here, it came back down, filled them. But as it filled them, guess what? It created more. So not for sure Bitcoin's doing the right thing here. We want as little, well, actually, we don't want as little as possible. We want them in a certain way, that way we can predict which way the price could be going. But if you have them on both sides and there's 6 or 7 of them, it's like, okay, how are we going to be able to tell which way the price is supposed to be going, right? So right now, look at all these monthlies. So we just went through, we broke on monthly, so that one is even, right? And my thing is that it probably should get down to 20K. That was my thing as far as smart money is concerned. Now, I don't know if I forgot to explain smart money or not, but we don't believe in trading on trend lines or no harmonics, no channels, no anything like that. I told you about liquidity and whatnot, but the basic things that retail traders look for, such as finding double tops and trying to go short on a double top. No, that's not something we look for. Or if there's a double bottom, and we try to go long on a double bottom. No, it's not what we look for unless there's something there. There has to be some kind of conditions that are met. So most retail theorists have these basic ideas of trading, and us, like you could say, smart money theorists don't abide by them. We look for certain specific rules, we look for certain specific candles, and those kind of things. So all right, I'll keep moving on. So, and I told you about balance. So if a fair value gap has been ran through or been created and then run through, then you know it has been balanced. And you can probably start looking for more balancing coming up in the future. But if a fair value gap is created on the way up and hasn't been come down to, that's when I get scared. That's when I get worried and I start going, okay, something's gonna happen because it hasn't come down here yet. And that's exactly what happened when the Tesla stuff happened. Whenever Tesla announced that they were going to be, using Bitcoin or whatever, and allowing people to buy their automobiles with Bitcoin, and this is the day right here. I know it to my heart. February 21. I looked at it and I just saw the biggest green candle I think I'd ever saw. And I told all my friends were all super excited, because we all have Bitcoin, and I said, it's good and all. I said, but wait, I said, it's creating a fair value gap, but we're gonna have to eventually come back and deal with that. And they didn't believe me. I'm learning from, a great, amazing mentor who's teaching me the very right things. And he told me that we kind of I guess bet on highs for Bitcoin. We aren't a mentorship. We don't go over crypto at all. We go over primarily Forex, and that's it. But we kind of had a, hey, let's see what we can come up with Bitcoin. I came up with 58. He had 65. Other people had some other things, and of course he had it pretty much right on the spot. But whenever it was still going up and it hit 58, I'm a reselling. I don't regret it. Sold all of it. Didn't even want to try to buy back in because I was afraid as soon as I bought back in, it was just gonna fall. So I made some trades here and there, but still I haven't bought back in, and the reason is because I knew we had to deal with that. Now that we have, I mean, it wasn't too much longer right after we did the high, it was when we dealt with it. And now the monthly fair value gap we've been dealing with since end of May. It is now almost July. We have gone nowhere, done nothing as Bitcoin. Something has got to give, and something has got to give soon. Okay? Which is why I think eventually it's going to get down to 20K, because this one's already been through. Now we got to get through this one, right? And as soon as we get through this one, we're pretty much done, and 20K is there. Now there's two more small fair value gaps below it. However, we've been, the highest prior to this point was what, 20K? So it's pretty much balanced already at 20K. So I don't think it's gonna, it may dip. I really hardly doubt it. It may dip in there just to, I don't know. But I just really doubt it that it's going to dip into, there's some fair value gaps that turn out on, I think they're the weekly chart of both of these, just to get a little bit more balance to whenever price was above here already, came back down all the way up, and then it's right here, right? 19.87576, I believe. Let's go back to the monthly and find out. All right, so the monthly high, the fair value gap would be on the top of this guy. I'm going to get rid of this guy. What we're going to do is we're going to grab this guy, and we're going to go horizontal array. All right. So it's actually 19,873.21. Right? I mean, it's pretty much 20,000. Can't get any closer to 20,000 than that. Your next closest point is going to be, let me actually delete this and put it here. 17,580. I mean, it could spike down into there, but I don't know. I mean, it could spike down into this monthly fair value gap. It could. It really could. Is it gonna fill it? I don't think so. Why? Because that bottom part is where? Let me see what price that's at. It didn't even come out. It did. 14,098. Yeah, I just don't see 14,098 happening. Considering we've already, this is like I said, this is monthly. This is the last bull run. And there was another one that got about that high as well. So it feels like that area could possibly be safe, you know, because it's already been, you know, balanced. So therefore, since it all has been balanced, you find the last lower price just before everything shoots up. I put a fib on it, right? It's the 88.6 that comes into this last fair value gap. No problem with it at all. I have no problem with that. I, in fact, would invite it to come to the 88.6. So what I want to do now is do a fib retracement between this monthly fair value gap that I think it's probably going to go to. When is it going to get there? I don't know. That's the thing. But I just want to be prepared for it when it gets here. All right. All right. So, and 1 and 2 and all right. Trend line. I'm going to find a 50%. And I'm going to draw it straight across. Oh, it didn't stay. There we go. All right, and 50% is 1583946. 1583946. All right, so that is where halfway through this monthly fair value gap is. That's technically where I would like, if possible, to see the price come down to, or just hit the top of it. Honestly, I'd rather prefer it just hit the top of it and go the opposite way. That'd make me feel so much better, because I have a feeling it's coming down this way anyway. The question is how long is it going to take to get through that whole area here, which is here. I'm just going to go ahead and redo all of these, which is 27,687 and 19,956. That's a good, what, $800, something like that? 8,000. So either way, that's a pretty long ways to get through something, right? Do the month. Let's check out the day. And I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of my Fibonacci here. Because ever since it has dropped and dropped bearishly, whenever it did, it left some daily fair value gaps behind. I think it left a weekly behind. And now we've been kind of in this consolidated area, right? And I'm on the daily, and that looks fairly scrunched up to me, right? I'm not really seeing any fair value gaps on the daily. There's a couple, it looks like, but nothing really significant that points out to me that says, okay, it's really going to go this way, it's really going to go that way. There's really nothing to it. Because the only thing, especially there's nothing that I can lean on like that, I have to look at the fair value gaps and go, okay, is it going to go up or down? You know, which one is it going to take out? And considering it's not 100% balanced yet, I have to think it's going down. I have to think it's going down. You know, think about the, you know, worst. If something good happens, good. I mean, depends on if you're invested or not. If you're invested, then you want it to go up. If you're trading, you could care less. You'd want it to go either way. And I'm gonna say I'm that way. I'm a trader. I could care less which way it goes. But I know some people, they are investing in it. They, you know, they want it to be a security. They want it to be an asset. You know, I look at it as Forex, which I trade a lot, so I understand, you know, quite the differences. Now, see here, they said it was setting up for a short. I don't believe it. Looks like it's already gotten paid. It looks like it's already done the short part. Went through the bullish blocks, equal lows. Here's some equal lows here. Always look for equal lows if you're gonna look for they said liquidity, anything like that, because liquidity is where people have their buy stops, their sell limits, or their buy limits or sell stops, and also their buy stops and sell limits, all because it's a specific area that either people think they would put sell stops. I'm gonna use this area for an example. People could use this and go, okay, I'm going to put my sell stop here because once it cracks here, then more than likely it's going to use this as a bounce off point as resistance and then start selling. All right. Or what you could say is that since, you know, the line I put is a little bit above it, could go long and enter in here, right? But let's say you don't have a whole lot of money to play with, you know that line, and it just never, it's not going to cross it. It's a done deal. It's an awesome, you know, support line that, you know, nothing's ever going to cross it, and you ain't got to worry about it. Okay, so there we go. Now we got a line there, whatever. But let's say now that we have two of these guys, right? And we did that over here, right? That line, which is pretty much this orange line right here. Boom, it knocked them out. Not only did it knock them out, the people that had the sell stops, it came back up and took them out. Huh. That's what smart money is. That's what it does. It knows exactly what retail people do. It knows how they play, and it's going to try to take them out on both sides. So if it sets it up perfectly, The way it looks like, you know, there's going to be an area here for you to buy at as soon as it comes down to it as a retail trader. Smart money is going to look at you and go, I know what's happening. You're going to try to buy. I'm going to take you the other way and take your money, because your stop loss is probably right around here, down here, whatever it is. I'm going to take it and take your stop loss and move on. And then 4,000 people lose their money due to stop losses because they're thinking the same thing as one guy, while one guy that has all the money pushed him down and then bought after he pushed him out of the way, because he knew that the sell stop started and he didn't want them to win, so he pushed them back and took their stop losses. That is exactly what smart money is. Okay, so my thing is where are we going from here? Where is Bitcoin going from here? And I've been trying, and I just put something on TradingView, and I hope I'm right. But let's see. Yeah, it's all this. I pretty much explained to everybody what I just explained to you guys. Smart money design liquidity just as this line as below. Everyone thinks that this support 28k 30k until smart money institutional money pushes through it. All buy limits in the area are set, all sell stops set, also are ready and willing to make market order to flood the market with liquidity. And that's what I was talking about down right now. If I was to have it on the daily, right? Bitcoin, let's go to the daily. Because now we've branched out. Now we're not just worried about that one little area. We've got both of these areas now. Look at that. We got a purple line right here. I can probably make into a different kind of line. Okay, there we go. I don't know what the line is, or what the high or low is. Let's see what the low is here. 28,732. All right, so 28,732, and we're gonna copy and paste that. All right, so now same thing, right? Same thing as this little guy over here. All right, market's all set. You got your buy limit set. You get your sell stop set. Waiting for it to come to this guy. Except for the problem is, smart money knows that you're probably going to do that. So instead, it's going to short it. So that's what I see right now for Bitcoin. I see it shorting, but I see it going higher first. I know. Hate me all you want, but I see it going higher first. Let's see if I can bring up the chart. That is the old chart. Sorry, my computer is acting slow because I've been doing this all night. No, so what I was going to show you is that about 15-minute interval, or not 15-minute intervals, day intervals, and them not getting filled, them not getting balanced. I was taking a look at history and trying to compare it to see how many times it has happened and if it's likely to happen again. So I started with Euro USD, right? So here was one, it came up, it looks like it didn't fill it, but it got into it. That's all it mattered. That's all it needed to balance it out, get it out of the way, keep going. Same thing here. Boom, it came over to here, balanced it out, took over the way. So then this one created two of them, right? There was one that was created here as well, but literally the candle right after it goes right into the fair value gap. Right there. So that one balanced enough. Balanced enough until it comes up the next time. So so now what I have whenever I'm left over with Euro USD is there are some from earlier of last year that haven't really had the chance since the euro's been picking up and the dollar's been losing value. There was one right here, but it did dip down into it. There's a fair value gap just above it that looks like it's getting ready to go to right now. Right. So there's that one. And then I thought about, hey, let's just find one that's makes no sense. So I chose I think it's the Norwegian and the Mexican peso. Yep, the Norwegian krone and the Mexican peso. To see if they had any similarities, if they went back and forth, if there was anything, you know, fair value gap wise that was totally familiar. And I think I found one, and it was that one right there. And that was on a daily basis. The rest of this couldn't find anything. They all matched up. Okay, and then the last one I did was one that would be all over the place that I would know of, which is GBP KPY. The British pound versus the Japanese yen is for some reason one of the most erratic pairs I've ever seen in my life. So I decided to see if there was any kind of open fair value gaps. If they were, where were they? If there was too many above, there was too many below. And so I have all these on the daily. And ever since, let's see here, it looks like we got a couple in 2016 as the pound was coming down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And even if some of these did, I mean, there's a big one right here, but it still came up and closed it and then went back down. So that one acted as normal. Here we have another one here. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So out of the most erratic pair ever, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's really not that bad. Really not that bad at all. Wait, is there 13? No, not 13. Yeah, something else touched it. Hello. Sorry about that. I grabbed half of the browser and closed it. So it probably looked really weird on your window. But it looks like ever since then, it looks like the British pound and the Japanese yen have been pretty much in the same price range, and that's been about it. So I just wanted to show you guys, you know, the normality of these kind of things. You know, that they do exist, they are out there, and more than likely they do try to get filled as much as possible. As you can see, there's one little one right here I tried to get that got filled. There's probably one here that got filled. You know, these two guys here, boom, filled them. This is one huge one right here, and guess what's filled it? I mean, this thing just completely filled it, like almost like a crayon. So yeah, that's what they do. Their existence is pretty much to be filled, you know. So my thing as a technical analyst, somebody that who wants to see it balanced, right? We want to see it balanced. We want to see that, especially me. I want to see that. I want to get that out of the way because it's going to happen, right? So I just want it to get down into here. Now, why did the other ones look so big compared to that one? Maybe they didn't. There's one other one down here. I put 4. Okay, so this is my idea, pretty much. I have 4 different entrances because I think it's going to swing higher before it swings lower and gets to the 20. The first one is here, right? So, and so if we go back here, and that was on the daily, right? Yes. So if we were to take a Fibonacci, right? All the way down. I don't like using the spikes on the for these kind of things on Fibonacci. For whenever you're trying to find something, especially if you're wanting to go short, which is what I'm wanting to do. I'm wanting to go short on Bitcoin from one of the 4 points that I have laid out in this series here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, and D. And once I get there, I want to go short and then catch it all the way down to the 20. I don't want to have to worry about anything else, or at least I hope I don't have to, as long as I have my stop loss in the right spot and the conditions are right. All right, so the thing is that here is where one of those spots are, right? Perfect. It's perfect for me because at the current dealing range, right? This is the low, right? This is the current high, or maybe this is the current high, whichever you want to prefer. The bodies are about the same, so that's why I'm considering them both about the same height, right? This needs to move up a little bit. Okay, so if it was to come up, the defense that would be there to push it down would be the order block, which would be that right there. So order block is when you have 2 candles or 1 candle, either or. If 1 candle overtakes the next candle, right? Let's say, especially for changing directions, right? We're changing directions or we're not changing directions, it doesn't matter. We have 2 candles side by side, right? 1 candle, let's say we're going one direction, and then we turn around, we go the other direction, and these 2 candles, though, however, are bigger than this 1 candle. All right, in this instance, we're going to have to think like that because they would be technically 1 candle, right? So since these 2 candles would technically be bigger than this 1 candle, this is considered an order block the top of the green candle is, because that is where price, whenever it is expected to come back to, it is expected to reject out of that area. Or if it was driving out of here, and it got to the edge of here, and it went past it, and then it came back, and then it went out again. Whenever it went out again, you could do the same thing, place a bet on it, and you know, see it start moving downward. So that is place A that I want to see. I would like for it to see it to come back, because it has moved down into this area. It has pulled back and it has gone forward. Now the thing is that this is possibly already done. However, I'm not for sure, because let's see here. Okay, this would be the lowest point. This would definitely be the highest point before all of this stuff happens. Okay, so this is the line drawn, right, where all the liquidity is, right? You got your low here, you got your low here. This is where everybody's going to try to buy or put their sell stops. So in my mind, we're going south. We're going through this thing because everybody else is already thinking they're going to buy. And you don't want to do what you don't want to follow the herd. You don't want to be that person that thinks like everybody else, because 90% of people that do this don't make money. If you want to think like 90% of the people, you're not going to make money. It's as simple as that, unfortunately. Okay. So whenever it did, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to pull this back down here and see how far this came back. All right, this came back down to 79%. Not bad. All right, so which means we could have shorted it from here, and now we're just hoping it's on its way down to that 20,000. That way it can finally turn around and hopefully be bullish again. All right. If it doesn't do that and it starts playing tricks with us, then we're going to have to find another strategy. The other strategy being point B, right? Which I think was where I think there was a weekly gap, and it was just past that weekly gap. I think that's what that was. So we're on the day. Let's go to the week. Yep. So I was hoping that the price would come all the way back up to here, fill this weekly gap at 43,815. Boom, and then it runs the other way. Why? Because we balanced it. It's balanced. Are they doing anything else? It's 100% balanced. Now you just need it to come down here and balance itself down here by hitting this $20,000 or whatever it is, 19 something. Right, 19,464, and balance that part out, or not even that far. Maybe it just hits the 127. I love how the Fibonacci's are just almost like perfect with these things, especially the smart money Fibonacci's, which are the 27s, the 62s, and the 50s. You put those on and you're almost always going to get some kind of layover with something. It's quite amazing. So this thing could pull back I mean, we could never expect it. I mean, we could, I'm trying to expect it. But it did lay the groundwork for us that we do have a solid support, right? So we could see it pull back all the way up here and then come all the way back down, and everybody thinks that they're gonna swing and hit it and it's gonna go all the way back up here. But instead it's going to fall backwards, because everybody else has got that mentality to buy. Instead, smart money is selling, which is going to drive it backwards and then take them out on their stop loss. The stop loss goes to the broker, and the broker pays out the trader that was actually had the opposite side of the trade of that person. So that would be the next scenario. All right, scenario C. All right, there's an order block, right over here. Y'all can see it. It's probably, to be honest, on the monthly, it probably is some kind of order block. I should probably actually take a look at that and see. But here, let's take a look at the monthly. That means it would be this guy. But instead, we're looking at the daily. And nope. I'm thinking this guy. Close, but no cigar. Either way, this could also kind of be a breaker. You have a low, high, and then you have a lower low, right? So that breaks, not exactly sure 100% how the breakers work, but you have a high, a low, lower high, and then this breaks down through this area here. Whenever it comes back up to it, it acts as resistance. The whole candle itself, or actually primarily the body, I should say, or since it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, I think it would probably be maybe all 5 candles working together, as one giant breaker. So it drops outside of it. It tries to come back inside of it. It can't, because it just can't compete with this breaker. Breakers will outdo everything, right? Once there's a breaker created, good luck. Or it could be the fact that this is the breaker. I didn't even think about that. So, which means that let me see here. Low, high, low. But I mean, is it higher? This is where I get confused sometimes, because it drops and then it goes higher high. So I want to say high, low, higher high, and then the drop through it. But then it comes back up and then drops through it again. Yeah, I don't think that's how it works. Could be more like how this works, to where you have a low or high, low, higher high, and then once it drops through it, anything that comes up to it could get reversed. That could possibly be it right there. Because the candle, as you can see, does not have a wick, does not have a tail. That means that candle is an institutional candle, whatever you want to call it. It's a candle that comes from the algorithm. As soon as it turned over to that day, it did not even want to try to do this or do that. It just went straight up. Okay, so that is a possibility, and I may have to move my C to down there. All right, because otherwise I was thinking it's got to be one of these guys. I was thinking this guy, but maybe not. These guys have way too skinny legs. I don't like that. When it comes to order blocks, it could have been this guy for an order block, possibly. But then you would have to get through the entire fair value gap. So it could just be that he comes up to the fair value gap and then drops the other way. So that's C. C is a completely different scenario. We're gonna have to see if C plays out. And then D is one that is above, well, actually, right around the same area. So I'm saying D is on this guy here, which would be right there. And let me see if that would do anything. So we have a high, a low, and then a higher high. Yeah, that looks like a breaker because it drops right through it, doesn't come back and test it, and just falls. So I think this would be one, and this would be one. And we would see it fall down to here to 19,500. Let's just call it 19,500. Anybody want to measure it? See how far it would, how far that would actually be. All right, remember this is the one on the other side. This was the order block from the monthly. We got here 55%, 55.61%, $24,460. So that would go from 43,773 down to 19,304. What was it? Or 19,464. So about 24,250. That is quite the jump. All right, I'm gonna leave that there. Actually, I'm going to anchor that. 19,464. Okay. And then the highest that we could get it would be this little, I wouldn't say little, but breaker here. You have a high, low, higher high. Is it 53,264? Now that is going to be a drop. But if it does get up there, I think I'm putting a short on it. 264. $33,800. I mean, $33,800 even. I mean, could you believe that? Can you believe how much money that would be? if this is all correct, which I hope it is, because I mean it just looks bearish. It looks like it needs to get down there to that $20,000 mark. And then get back to going sideways and sideways bullish. Okay, so it's the green. Oops. The green is 19,523. 19,413. Yeah, it's negative 63%, $33,523. Wow, like it's just, if it was like that and I just had a 0.05 on it, that would probably be enough to pay my bills for about half the year, maybe. No, I don't. That would be a lot, though. It would be a lot. So I'm going to personally keep an eye on Bitcoin because I definitely think there is something noteworthy about it, especially if it's wanting to go short. And I just had my buddy say that he thought he was, you know, just looking at it saying and looking like it's wanting to go short to me. My buddy's a little bit smarter than most of the retail traders. But yeah, that fake, I don't know, it's not fooling me. Not fooling me one bit that there is a resistance zone. I don't see it. Just because I also don't see trend lines, I don't see channels, I don't see harmonics, I don't see whatever else that there is about that I can't even think of the name of it. Anyways, smart money theorist here. I'm way over on time. It's been an hour. But if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and do that one thing that people always tell you to do. You know what I'm going to tell you to do, right? All right, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. Please, I mean, it would have just helped me out a lot. Even if you just hit subscribe, and you don't ever watch my videos, I would not even care. But if you do watch my videos, that also helped me out a lot. But I do try to do as much videos like this as I can. I haven't done one like this. I haven't done one like this in a month, or not like a month, but a week. Had a busy week at work. Early in the morning, thought I'd do one for Bitcoin because I know everybody's wondering what's gonna happen with Bitcoin. I'm saying short, but I want to see it pull back up first before it shorts, and it shorts pretty hard. So I'm probably gonna put some limits in here, and let's see what happens. I mean, of course, I'm gonna put in my fake limits. I'm not gonna put my real limits in front of you guys. That's actually illegal to do, I found out. But let's see here. If I was to sell, right? To do, this is Bybit. I don't want to do Bybit. I want to do Coinbase. All right, here we go. Here's Coinbase. Sell, and I set at and put out the body. No. That's the cool thing too about it. It gives you alerts. Here, I'm gonna turn this off of it going crazy so I can go back to the charts here, and so your guys are not going bonkers with this thing all over your head. All right, so price power 1. I know that's part of the fib retrace. That's not actually part of the. Or it's on a rate. There we go. All right, so we're gonna sell, and it reaches 38.86. I mean, did you see? I mean, the price right now is 31. That's $7,000 difference. And in pips, I want to say they start measuring from the middle. It's a little odd, like you know, like Litecoin and stuff is like it's perfectly normal. Like, you know, you wouldn't have to do anything different. Same with like, I think it's some other ones. Like Neo is perfectly normal. You don't have to do anything. Whenever it makes a penny, you makes a penny. But like Bitcoin is like whenever it makes, you know, I want to say the pip bet is 8, and like pips would be these two. I'm not 100% on still on how it works, but still, I just like, and maybe I'll do the math today whenever I do some, and I'll let you guys know. But all right, so we are going to limit order, take profit. That would be all right, 19,492.14. That's a pretty huge take profit. Okay. Let me go back to it and put on a stop loss. All right, because what I'm doing is I'm saying it's only going to hit this right here, and it's going to fall from there. Didn't go up any higher. Why? Because we've already been through that. We've already, even this guy got as high as here. It didn't get above the body. Body here didn't get above the body. This one actually made an effort. It got a little bit higher, but then it went down lower. So I'm not sure what to think here. And then we had these 3 candles and then the drop. So what was the weekly? Or 3825 maybe. Hello, wrong way. There we go. God, I'm still way over, and you hope you're still watching. And you don't have to be watching me set my sell limits. I'm just saying I'm going to do them right, just to see if I can get what's going on. Actually, I'm going to do it from here. I'm going to do it from this 100. So that would be stop would be 41346.18. Yeah, well, there we go. No, something's going on here. Yeah, that was my gold position that went extremely wrong 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't fixed it. Oh shit. Okay, so limit. Why isn't this working? Modify order. Hold on, my order was stop price. Duh. I was doing 100%. 41346.18. 18. I have no idea what just happened. Anybody else? Okay, anyway, moving on. Let's just move on from that one. All right, let's move on to fill number 2, which is going to be the fill of the fair value gap. So that is going to be that guy right there. Already have it, 43825. So we're going to go to limit sell. We're going to go 43825. Okay. Take profit. That seemed a little low. 1918-24. Why not? Sure. 1918-24. That is where we are taking profit. All right. And where we are stopping the profit. All right. Phil's there. What did I do with that one? That wasn't it, was it? That one. Here's this one. I think this was supposed to be different. Just be a little bit lower. Because it was supposed to fill the block. All right. Modify order, just make order. It should be a new order. I should have multiple orders up. Let's go. Anyways, this is getting annoying. I think it's because I can only... I've never honestly set more than one order on this thing. And I don't think it's going to allow me to do it. I think it's just going to have me do one limit at a time. See if I can get one more limit in here without having to do anything ridiculous. You know, now I'm just gonna do the high one. Let's just do the high one. Just so I can see if I can get some really good money out of this. All right, high one's gonna be that. Oh. 185. Take profit. What is going to be here? $180.4. Stop loss. $65.7515. Oops, cancel. Oh, is that the height or whatever? Last one. Almost. Actually, I should go for short dark. Well, maybe go. You know what? I'm going to go a lot shorter in the 100 range. Or let's go with 59603. Top level 59603. All right, I did let me sell them. All right, well, I got both of them out there. Hope you guys know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Bitcoin needing to have its balance. Because Bitcoin did come up early and had a, I mean, it was just almost guns blazing. We all know that's not true in the real world. That can't happen. It can't just go up forever. It has to be a balance, all right? So now we're in that point. So now we just gotta hope it balances out as soon as possible. What does that mean? I'm not for sure, but let's just hope it balances out as soon as possible. That's all I have to say. Because once it does, then we can be on our way to more money. But like I said, thank you for watching as always. And I gotta do the thing again. Yeah, go ahead, please subscribe, hit notifications, like my stuff. All my videos are like this. My last video, I taught you how to take advantage of the stop hunts. So whenever you see a stop hunt coming down like this, more than likely it's because of a previous stop hunt, and then you can find a order block that caused that stop hunt, and then look before another order block, and then more than likely it'll go to that one. And if you have your limit set, you'll be able to catch it and catch a pretty good ride, depending on what kind of area you're in. But I mean, to me it was a hit. It was a good video on synthetics. The only thing was that during this past week we did have some things fall out of nowhere and pretty fast. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I wish I wouldn't have went as long, but I hope you guys get the picture. You can skip through it if you want, whatever. Again, my name is Ted, and I will see you guys later. Thank you so much, and always never forget to wear your pants.